So hello ladies and gentlemen, we are back with more Daily Races. I hope you're enjoying this type of content on the channel. We are going for Daily Race B, the Grade 3 Lamborghinis around Interlagos. We've gone as Brazilian as we can with the lighting, as Brazilian as we can with the car, and we've actually done this first ever livery as well, which is not very good by my own admission. But we are starting in P6. We are, what, 2 seconds off pole position, but we're definitely in the fight for a podium possibly. We've had a bit of practice now, so we'll be bringing you one, maybe 2 races on this episode, and then some more races on Thursday. So let's see how we get on in this one. Right, so we are back on the rolling starts. We had the standing starts on last week at the Red Bull Ring, but we're back on the rolling starts again now. If we get through turn 1, through the Senna S's, and then hopefully settle into it. These Lamborghinis can be a little bit lively, must be said. I've never drove one in real life. I don't imagine a lot of people have. But it is a little bit slidey. Touch the grass and you can be in quite a bit of trouble. Let me know what you think of the delivery for our first ever attempt. We've tried to go as Brazilian as we possibly can today, but let's see if we can finish on the top step of the podium here. I highly doubt it, but we're in a decent qualifying position. We've got a Ferrari in front of us, and into turn 1 he's going to be absolutely crucial. We'll get the braking point right, get through the Senna S's, and then we shall make it work from there. We've got a car on us inside. There's already a little bit of contact in front of us. South African of Lam. We lose 1 position off the start, but then try and settle in. Just get through turn 1 and turn 2. Get through that first chicane. Car running very wide behind us there. But only 5 laps, so no pit stops in this one. Just pure racing. Just pure racing today. Spaniard runs wide and we reclaim P6, so decent start, decent overtake. Now this middle section, if you get this right, is so rewarding because the car just flows. The car can just flow through here, and we touch a wheel on the grass and just about keep hold of it. My word, that were a squeaky bum time, it must be said. But we're holding on just about into P6. And this is where, like I said, it can be a very nice section should you get it right. It can be a very bad section should you get it wrong. But we're starting to lose a little bit of time towards the car in front. We seem to be wrestling with this Lamborghini at the moment, trying to keep it on the straight and narrow. The Italian is leading, but as we come towards the end of lap 1, we are quite comfortably in P6. Second time through the Senna S's, and Lam had a little bit of a moment there. Gap to P7 is about, what, 6-7 tenths of a second. As we run very, very wide at that corner, that's not going to help us. And we have got a track limits penalty for ignoring track limits. I thought we lifted off enough there, to be fair. Certainly not enough as the back end skids, and we are round. We are round, my word. We felt like we were wrestling quite a bit. We've let the cars go on circuit, safely rejoined. But that is going to be a rather difficult first race for us. And of course, we've got a time penalty to come as well. Got all out of shape going into there. These things can happen. First race of the day, that's going to be a really tough one for us, but a learning experience nonetheless. We'll take this time penalty now, take the pain, and see if we can move forward. We've got a car off in front of us. The German's off, so we're up into P13. Going to be some recovery drive. Could we finish in the top 10? Possibly so. So P12 in front of us as we come round to this corner. He's gone. He's gone very, very wide. That's one way to take that corner. So he's got an half a second time penalty, 1.5 seconds now. So that should be P12 in the bag. We've got P11 in front of us. Last couple of laps, if we could recover to P10, I think we could take that as a bit of a success. Right then, coming on towards the final lap. P10's looking a little bit out of sight. P11, we're 1.6 back from P11. There's no reason why we can't get this guy, although it must be said, P13 is probably thinking the same as us. 1:34.6 is our best lap time so far. And he's ran wide there. One thing is for sure, you can certainly use track limits around these centre S's. As we've now got P11 in our sights, we gained half a second there, just about got that gear change. As we get back on the power, we are closing massively on P11. Now, will we get a run up to the line on him? That's the question. We feel like we're getting used to the car a little bit more now. We're definitely going to be bringing you another race in this episode as he takes a little bit of a squirm there. We definitely got the power down well. Will we be able to get the slipstream and get him? We'll do his absolute utmost, but I think he's just about gonna hang on to it. And to be fair, the last couple of laps there are a cause for optimism going in to the next race. We finished P12, we dropped 6 positions in that first race. Drago in front basically ran away with it, as we would have expected him to do. P12 in the first one. We've got to do better than that in the second. Right then, second race of the episode now. Hopefully, we're starting a little bit further forward. It looks like a lobby that's a little bit more to our taste. We've actually dropped a little bit in driver rating, so we need a decent performance here. We are only about, well, less than a second off pole position, so we hopefully should be fighting towards the top of the grid on this one. So let's hope we can keep all 4 wheels on track for the full duration of this race and possibly get a podium. Right then, this hopefully should be a little bit of a better race for Swedish, Saudi Arabia, German, Spain, 5 different nationalities in the first 5 cars. We've also then, I think we've got a very mixed grid in terms of nationalities today. We are sporting the Brazilian Lamborghini livery, of course, that we've made ourselves, which is very poor. But P5, could we possibly make a move into turn 1? We've lost a couple of positions into turn 1 in the last race. Maybe this time we can be a little bit more proactive. We've obviously improved his qualifying time a little bit, so I'm hoping that that practice is going to pay off a little bit around Interlagos. But this car can be a little bit skiddy and can be a little bit of a live wire. But hopefully this time we're going to set the inside line this time into here. Get through this first chicane, and we will approach the rest of the race from there. But that is a much better start than we had in the last race. We can see P2 and P3 really battling up top, and that is a very, very decent start. Very, very clean start. Not so much there as P4 goes, and P3 nearly goes as well. Now we're very much in the fight for a podium, and with that penalty as well. Oh my goodness, I thought we were going into the back of that Audi then. I really, really did. He's skidding everywhere. Is this Audi? I'm not quite sure. As we get a nudge from the back as well, we were having to react to the Audi in front of us very erratically, skidding all over. And straight away, that time penalty. P2's off as well. He rejoins quite safely. But we could be net P2, and my word. I think somebody might have just tried to take us out there, if I'm honest. We'll have a little look at that on the replay. But we are very much now in the fight for P2 and very much in the fight for a podium as we come towards the end of lap 1. Could we make a move into this chicane? We are going to just move to the inside here. We give him the space and we get the move done through the center S. And we are up into P2. This is a much better performance. Yes, we've dropped a little bit of driver rating, but we will take that all day long. Now, as we go through Sector 2, we are under serious pressure from this Audi behind. We leave him the space. It's close racing, it's fair racing, and he gets the move done. The Saudi Arabian is back into P2. There's a big gaggle of cars behind who are going to be fighting each other. I'm hoping that that's going to allow us to focus our attention on the Saudi Arabian in front, but, and it looks like it's going to do, to be fair, 2-second gap to P4. We would take a podium on this race. We would definitely take a podium. And as we go through the middle sector on lap 3, my word, that Audi, I mean, I thought this Lamborghini were a bit of a handful, but it is squirming all over that Audi at the moment. As we take a lot of curb there. .8 seconds. I'm actually at the moment, as much as we're chasing this Saudi Arabian down in front of us, I'm more concerned about the gap to P3 to Stefano. 2.8 seconds. We've got 2 more laps to negotiate. But you can see now the gap 1.2 to the Audi in front. Now the Audi just ran a little bit wide there. Cost him a couple of tenths of a second. P1 looks like he's got it in the bag. But this tends to be where we catch. We tend to catch in the middle sector as he has another little squirm there. Such as the grass. We're keeping all eyes. Of course, after the first race where we binned it, very important that we don't make that same mistake again. As we run a little bit wide into that corner, that's not going to help us cause. Gap to the car behind is 2.5 seconds, and we might be defending towards the end of this lap. As we come onto the final lap of this race, it's now under 2 seconds. The car behind has got the bit between his teeth. We have got to put in a good lap here, and that half a second off our personal best is not where we needed to be. As we have a moment coming out of the center S's, and that again is going to cost us time, and Stefano behind now will be fancying this. There is no doubt about it. We are going to have to defend this podium. Half a second the gap. He's right on our gearbox. As he goes for a move down the inside, he shoves us wide. Then carries straight on. We should be able to come back at him here. As we drop it into first gear. Are we going to try a lunge? It's a bit too far back, I would suggest, on the Red Bull driver. And how, well, not unfortunate. We can't say it's unfortunate as he has a squirm there. It's all about what we can do here. Can we get the run on him out of that corner? It doesn't appear we can. We are going to lose the podium on the final lap. It's a much improved performance on the lap before, but that lap 4, my word, look at that, 1:34.7. Oh, and Stefano manages to get it. Fair play to him. I felt it were hard and fair racing that, to be fair. We can't be too disappointed with that. But what an improvement. The first race, not so good. The second race, we're into P4. Can we get a podium on Thursday's episode? We certainly hope so. Please do like and subscribe if you're enjoying this, and I shall see you on the next one. Ta-ra.